Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin, and we're just going to be talking about how the time scale that you're using can make all the difference in the world. So if you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump in. So about 12 hours ago or so, there was a nice 2 or 3% drop in the price of Bitcoin. Okay, so if we were to take a measured move, from at least from say the point where it started falling, it dropped approximately 3%, almost 3% in a relatively short period of time. So only a few minutes, it dropped about 3%. Okay, and naturally, this will start triggering a lot of alerts on people's phones, and people naturally get worried, right, about where the price of Bitcoin is going to go. And then, of course, there's going to be a lot of sensationalist clickbait titles around crypto YouTube, crypto Twitter, saying, "Oh, back to the CME gap, we're going to fill it," or back to the 200-week moving average. But again, this, as we've showed before, and we did a live stream last night, this is fairly insignificant. Okay, it's fairly insignificant. This is par for the course for Bitcoin, even during a bull run. Okay, and arguably, this was actually quite mild for Bitcoin, even during a bull run. I mean, we're going to experience drops much harder than this, like much quicker and much steeper. Okay, so they will happen during the market cycle, even during a bull run. So this is the 5-minute chart. Okay, so this is the 5-minute chart, and you can see that we don't typically talk about time frames this short, but I just want to go over why the time scale matters. So if you find yourself looking at the 5-minute chart a lot, then my argument is that you probably could be spending your time in a more productive way, because when you look at the 5-minute chart, you see these types of moves up and moves down, and they happen quite frequently. And again, it's nothing more than par for the course. Okay, and if we draw kind of like a little box here, you can see that this is essentially the region that we've had a lot of wicks too. And I mean, I don't put too much credence on anything that's happening on 5-minute timescales, but just recognize that the 5-minute timescale is really not worth too much of your attention. Now, if you go to the 1-hour timescale, you can see this was the candle right here. So it started at around 11,500 and came all the way down to a little less than 11,200. It went into the 11,100s, okay? And it happened in that hour, and since then, it's essentially been bouncing around. But when you zoom out, right, this is par for the course. It's par for the course. We've seen these types of moves fairly frequently, and it's nothing to get worked up about, okay? So like the 5-minute time frame, my argument is the 1-hour time frame is also not that worthwhile. Okay, now if you're day trading or something like that and pretending to make money that way, then of course maybe you want to talk about the 5-minute moving hour, or the 5-minute window, or the 1-hour window. But on the other hand, if you're the purpose of this channel, of course, is not day trading. It's looking at momentum shifts in the market, not just cryptocurrency but other markets as well, and trying to slowly move in and out of markets. Okay, and right now Bitcoin is still, as far as I'm concerned, in the accumulation phase. This is not financial advice, but I would consider it to still be in the accumulation phase. Now if you go to the 1-day chart, you start to see a different story. Okay, now yes, it was a steep move down, but in fact the price of Bitcoin has hit this exact level for like the last week. Okay, so it hit it on October 16th, which is today. It hit it on the 15th, on the 14th, on the 13th, and the 12th, and the 11th, and the 10th. So literally every single day for the past week, the price of Bitcoin has crossed this level at around 11,300. Yeah, I had a wick slightly below, but again, this is business as usual. And when you zoom out, this is nothing. Again, it's nothing. And even during this accumulation phase over here, we had several red candles, right? And we still ended up going back up eventually. Obviously here we haven't, but we fell down to the 20-week moving average. This is not the 20-week. This would be the whatever this is, the 100-day moving average. And you can see we've come down to approximately that level a few times. Here's the 50-day. I'm just going to plot them on there so we can see them. And yeah. So that when you look at the daily time frame, again, it's really nothing to even worry yourself over at all. I mean, do you even get out of bed for that type of a move? Not really, right? I mean, this is again expected. And when you zoom out, you can see that it is extremely insignificant. Okay, and then finally, if we go to the weekly time frame, well, maybe I shouldn't say finally because maybe we'll go one higher. If you go to the weekly time frame, you can see that yeah, it's even more insignificant. What we generally see on the weekly time frame, which is what we said about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago or so, when we were first starting to test, not quite 2 months ago, but when we were first starting to test the 20-week moving average, we said that for the bull market to really get into full gear, we need to slowly move up to stay ahead of the 20-week. And that's exactly what we've done, actually. I mean, you can see that we've essentially just been slowly moving up and staying just ahead of the 20-week moving average. And in fact, now the price even at the current time is still approximately 8% above the 20-week moving average. So Bitcoin is still doing quite well. Still with the hesitancy in the market, altcoins are going to be a little bit more risky as we figure out where Bitcoin's going. Remember, in order to see altcoins start to make significant moves, for the most part, we want to see it move sideways, okay? And we want to see it move sideways for a bit, kind of like we did up here, kind of like we did over here. But so far, we're not moving sideways, right? Bitcoin is just slowly moving up. And because of that, this is obviously where the attention is mostly going to lie. If you look at the monthly time frame, which is even taking yet another step out, you can see again that these tiny little moves of 1%, 2% are incredibly insignificant. And if you look at some of these candles, right? I mean, here's a fairly average candle. It was a 30% move in a month approximately. This one was a 60% move. And this was just from the body of the candle to the top. This was a 25% move. This candle from wick to the bottom was a 60% drop back in March. So again, it's all business as usual, and I can't overstate that enough. Ultimately speaking, these lower time frames really don't mean a whole lot. So I know I don't really talk about the lower time frames that often, and that's the reason. It's because when you look at them, it's a random walk. As I've said, it's geometric Brownian motion. We have no idea in any reliable manner what the price is going to do, predicting this move up or this move down or this move up or this move down. It's really hard to predict these types of things. And so I think it's more important to look at larger time frames that we can try to garnish some idea of what the price is doing over the macro scale, of course. And then when you put on the regression band, everything kind of seems to come together, and you see the general trend that Bitcoin is on over the last 10 years. So if you guys like the content, remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for helping me get to 40,000 subscribers. Now I guess the next goal will be 50,000. We'll see if I can make it there by the end of the year, but it is a pretty ambitious goal. So please subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. I know I say that a lot, but if you could, give the video a thumbs up. Comment down below. Turn on your notifications. Again, if you do want access to the premium list, you can find that at intothecryptoverse.com, and you'll get access to a weekly report, a weekly video, a Telegram alerts channel, a private Telegram chat room, a risk dashboard, which is what I use to trade, and a dynamic DCA selling strategy dashboard. So you get access to a lot of different things, and I would encourage you to go check it out if you're interested in some of the premium content. And you also unlock access to all the prior premium videos and reports, which I feel like have done a good job of standing the test of time and remaining to be useful, despite the fact that many of them were written, several months ago. Okay, so that'll wrap it up for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.